So prior to actual audit, we started off from the flux analysis of financial statement and comparing the analysis estimate and opinion for the prior year's performance. So we first looked at net income and earning per share. The company's performance in 2015 was very unfavorable. Well, net income decreased by 28%, and net revenue account and earning per share account. Can I start over? Sorry.
Let's go.
Sorry. Okay. Prior to actual audit, we started off from flux analysis of financial statement and comparing analysis, estimate, and opinion for the prior year performance. The companies we looked at net income and earning per share first time, and their revenue account decreased by 28% and net income decreased by 21%, and earning per share went down by $3, which was more than 30%. Analysts are expecting the company's revenue will go down even more, about 10%, and earning per share may go down about $1 per share. There may be risk that management over-apply the revenue account or under-apply expense in order to achieve shareholders' expectations. However, the biggest competitors, Caterpillar, revenue and net income went down by 40%, and earning per share went down even more than Deere & Company. So we believe that 2015 was very unfavorable for the market as a whole, not only just Deere & Company.
So one of the audit procedures that we would like to conduct and implement is looking over John Deere's revenue recognition system to make sure that they're actually billing the proper customers and actually receiving maybe the proper amount of revenue, cash, and making sure that they're not actually overinflating any of their revenue that is listed on their income statement.
So next big account that we looked at was asset. Per company's underperforming result in 2015, we assumed that the asset would go down accordingly. Surprisingly, it did go up, and cash account actually went up by $400 million, which was very unusual that we think. So there may be high risk that cash account is actually exist as what the management asserts. So as a further audit procedure, we want to confirm with the bank that their cash is actually existed, and also they eliminated all the securities to get the extra cash. So we want to verify that those securities the securities transaction was actually existed as an audit procedure. And next big account that we looked at was debt. Their debt, the company actually paid off more debt than ever before. So it was really unusual changes that we think. So there may be high risk that management actually had paid their debt. So debt coverage ratio of Deere & Company was 0.14, and average industry ratio was 0.07. So since Deere & Company has less debt coverage than industry, they're better off in paying their debt to their I mean, they're better off paying their debt than like other industries. So we believe there is low risk that that will going concern.
And some of the audit procedures that we would use to assess the debt is, first we want to check to make sure that the accounts exist. And in order to do that, we would obtain paperwork showing that the business committed these obligations, as well as making sure that the accounts are included on the financial statements and that their amounts are correctly recorded.
So next thing that we looked at was depreciation. So company's total asset, the depreciable asset took 30% of the company's total assets. So we assume that like this account is really big to audit. So however, we looked at the trend analysis of depreciation expense, and it was pretty consistent throughout the prior years. So we put medium risk of the management, and we want to verify that management is using proper method for depreciation and proper useful life of the asset. And we also looked at cash flow from operation. Their cash flow from operation actually went up by 20%, and it was pretty unusual changes. And even with the profit margin went down by like 2%, 7% from 9%. So it was very unusual. So we put the risk high risk in cash flow, and we want to verify their expense account was actually existed, and they and also like verify that they record expense account as what it really incurred. And next big thing that we looked at was Deere & Company's stock price. Analysts estimate that Deere & Company's stock price will go up to $90, and per historical data, there is a trend that the company's stock price goes up to $95 in spring and summer seasons, and it goes down by $20, $70 per share in fall and winter season. So we put high risk that management is trying to hit the analyst estimate.
So for just a couple of general risk mitigating factors that we noticed were their internal audit function and their unqualified audit opinions. John Deere has a really good internal audit function, and so we took them into consideration while planning our audit memo, as well as taking into consideration their unqualified audit opinions since they've gone public. Some potential material weaknesses we've noticed while doing our assessment are some changes in the accounting standards. In the near future, in 2019, we're coming up with some new accounting standards that could have material effect on the financial statements. There were 3 that we noticed. For revenue recognition, a new standard is going to be implemented in 2019, and this new standard requires disclosure about the nature, amount, timing, and uncertainty of revenue from customer contracts. This could potentially have an effect on the financial statements, as well as recognition of financial instruments, which will be ineffective in 2019 as well. Another standard that the FASB is releasing is the standard for leases, and this will cause requirement for entities to recognize a lease liability. Some accounts that we noticed would be difficult to audit were our total inventory, because John Deere has multiple warehouses, and to audit just one warehouse may not be representative of the company as a whole, as well as some pension plans and post-retirement health care and life insurance plans. The plans fluctuate between 30 and 60 million between 2015 and 2016, and this would be hard to audit the amounts because they vary so much. The last thing that we noticed would be difficult to audit were the values of goodwill, the true value of it. It's hard to obtain fair market value information pertaining to particularly acquired entities. So this would be another account that would be difficult for us to audit.
So wrapping things up, this is our planning memo for John Deere, and we've kind of outlined the background and key financial risk factors that pertain to John Deere.